back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And one of my favorite, I was just reflecting for the different holidays, and Easter is coming up, and I seem to have this consistent theme of liking to use candy for decorations. But think of it, it really is an inexpensive and colorful and fun thing, whether it's Easter. We're going to talk about jelly beans.
Love the jelly beans.
But then you transition to, other holidays, 4th of July, hello, red, white, and blue M&Ms.
Wow.
And then Halloween candy corn.
Well, yeah, I was
going to
say, you never see candy corns unless it's Halloween, do you?
And then Christmas, candy canes. And then Valentine's again, Red Hots. And they
Red Hots?
Red Hots.
I never had Red Hots for Valentine's Day. You like those?
Well, because it just adds the pop of red, you know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Or you could use
you're going color.
Color, or those little chalky candies that say, hey, be my Valentine,
yeah,
and aren't you cute? Yeah. But I'm just thinking.
Your work.
Love your work.
Yeah.
But jelly beans are really so simple to kind of introduce a feeling of spring to your home. It's very easy. So
they're really vibrant and beautiful, aren't they?
I mean, as simple as just literally putting a bunch of them in a glass jar and then putting a votive on top of it.
And
right?
you know what's good about jelly beans in terms of them lasting? They and cockroaches could withstand a nuclear holocaust and never change color. So you could have them from 10 years ago and they still look great.
Well, hopefully, they'll be fresh versions of them,
That's
right?
I don't think they go bad, do they? Do jelly beans go bad?
I think they do.
Do they? Okay.
Right. I have this collection of Jelly Bellies.
Yeah.
It was like the Ronald Reagan collection. Well, no, it's seriously.
They're that old?
No,
like
they're not that old.
Oh,
it was they had a special thing. I think it was the Reagan Museum. The Ronald Reagan Museum had some celebration a couple years back, and so they released like all the flavors, like 100 different flavors in this box, and it was everything from pina colada to root beer to jalapeno. I mean, it's very fun.
That is fun.
It's kind of, and it was a tribute to good old Ronald Reagan.
Sure.
But no, it wasn't dating back to when he was. That'd be kind of sad.
That's it.
How about using jelly beans? Okay, not only to use it for like a little votive thing, but I think they're always cute to put them in a jar and then use that now as mulch, if you will, or kind of a securing device to cut flowers inside.
Oh, and you use that to anchor the stalks of the flowers. Yeah, that's a
so
good
you could
idea.
get some pretty lilies, some calla lilies, and then in your glass jar, fill inside with the jelly beans. Isn't that great?
Very pretty.
And then just put a little bit of water down below.
Can I tell you, the calla lily is one of my favorite flowers. You know why? My wife, the lovely Amy, she carried some calla lilies down the aisle at one point in our lives. That was really pretty. Just a group of them, real simple.
Very nice.
That's it. Yeah.
And there it is. It's a sweet story. Well, there's something I think it has it's a very loving flower. It kind of brings you into that mood of not only spring, but hope and Easter and love.
But my mom was like, calla lilies? No, that's what they put in when they have funerals. I was like, Mom, come on. What do you know?
It's very, very pretty. So here are some other ideas to save money planning for Easter. Okay, so how about getting even some, speaking of weddings, some silk flowers. You can even use some silk flowers. Boy, they look
good lately, don't they? They really have come a long way.
They have. And so a lot of these artsy craft stores, whether it's Michael's or fill in the blank, Joann's Fabrics has a bunch of these. They really do. They aren't like the old, like plasticky looking ones. I mean, they are silk flowers.
I see them outside in window boxes all the time.
You can do that.
And you can't really tell.
And so, I mean, there are some people that actually use artificial plants as landscaping. They look that good.
Well, and also, the whole turf thing.
Of course, exactly. But imagine almost like an artificial bamboo tree. I mean, I've seen people do beautiful landscapes, like an Asian garden with all artificial plants. The key is to water it down and make sure it isn't dusty, because then that's the giveaway.
Right.
But inside, I mean, I think they even sell. I've used this. It's a spray that you can spray down to keep the dust off.
Oh, okay. Great.
You could also, of course, later we'll be talking about dyeing the eggs and all. That's one of the classics for Easter. But how about just making an Easter cake using the yellow cake mix, and then you create different layers on top of that so that it becomes like the colors of the jelly bean. So you can have like the base cake is just the yellow, and then you can have a pink one, and then a blue one,
that's cute.
and then a green one.
The turquoise is really that's the one that always reminds me of Easter.
And so you basically have like little 1-inch cakes, but you're layering them with white frosting on top, and so it becomes like the rainbow. I've seen
that's beautiful. You know what? And my daughter Willow will go nuts for that. She is such a candy person.
Isn't that kind of fun?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a great way of just, I think, decorating very inexpensively, but being creative, I think, and just not worrying about going out and buying all the stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff out there for Easter.
You got that right.
You know, and it starts to feel kind of like, okay, now I'm accumulating a lot of extra junk.
And no one's going to eat food. That's how I feel in my house. Like, you know, they're going for the cookies. Oh, no, there's no nutrition.
Right.
But, boy, their mouths look fun when they've got the, you know, turquoise thing around it from all the cookies they've been eating. That's a dead giveaway.
Another fun thing to do, you can make a wreath. You can make an Easter wreath, or you can even have an Easter tree.
Well, see, now that's what I love, this whole idea where it's not relegated to Christmas just to have a tree. You can have it for any holiday.
Right. And when I say a tree, well, first the wreath. The Easter wreath you could use if you had, let's say, a basic foundation of twigs as your wreath and that you use for all the different seasons. Well, now for Easter, you can just add some of the different pastel colors. But you don't have to. I mean, pastel, of course, is the stereotype for Easter, but you could just focus on a neon green or just one great color that feels fresh and springy, you know, yellow and orange, right?
Yeah.
But then you would just use, whether it's ribbons or buying some of those little plastic eggs that come apart, you can then hang those onto the wreath itself, and now you have kind of like a welcome to spring wreath.
I think it's really a lovely tradition to have wreaths for different holidays.
It is.
It really, I think that, and the kids respond so favorably to that when they know it's coming, like the Advent calendar goes up during Christmas. The Easter wreath shows up. You know, you get the idea that it's happening.
And then the Easter tree, this is something that you can do really inexpensively, too. It isn't like an actual pine tree. It's really almost like the Charlie Brown tree, where it doesn't have any foliage at all.
Yeah, it's just sticks.
It's just sticks. And then you can spray paint. Let's say you go to a florist shop, and you can get some of these sticks, if you will, twigs, and you put them in a vase. And you can, before you put them in a vase, spray paint them white. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
And then now you dangle with ribbon some of these little small plastic eggs, right, from these little twig branches, willow branches, birch branches.
Cute.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a fun way. Again, it's very simple without getting into the whole egg, you know, decorating thing. We'll do that later in the season. But, I mean, these are some ways just to kind of get going. How about also creating a decorative tray? And then having some little decorations on top of the tray, meaning you could use a frame, get an old frame, and then insert beneath the glass some fabric that's in a spring tone, a spring palette, maybe some aqua, some greens, or some pinks and oranges, and then have that now as a centerpiece where you can put some matching glasses and some flowers on top of that. It kind of makes it feel like it's the introduction to Easter and spring without going over the top.
And I got to tell you, if we haven't stressed this enough, if you don't go out and get 10 hurricane vases today,
I know
we're going to get mad, because it's such a great all year round kind of thing where you can add all this decor you're talking about seasonally, and it just fills up this clear glass container. And it really says that holiday, whatever color palette you use, it really kind of speaks to us, doesn't it?
It does. It's all about having some of the simple tools. That's what florists do. That's what interior designers do. And then once
I would say the hurricane vase is the hammer of the designer's world.
That's a great way of putting
it.
Right? How about having framed paper Easter bunnies to kind of get you into the decorating spirit? You basically get some of those square boxes. They might have a black rim or a brown rim, and then put either some fabric inside, scrapbook paper, or maybe have a cutout of a bunny, and then just have a repetition of 3 of them, because there's always that theme in design world to have at least 3 of this, 3 of that. That kind of gives you that feel of balance and of completion, I guess you'd say.
By the way, thank you for coming over to my house and not judging that I have a pair of pendants over my dining area. It's just so wrong. So wrong.
Here's another really cute. I'm not going to. Now, come on. How about you can also get these quail eggs, and you can buy them online, already blown out, and they're very cute. The quail egg looks kind of like the robin's eggs that you see in the candy store, but they're mostly brown and cream.
Oh, that's
cute.
Kind
of a cream base.
And they're real quail eggs.
Real quail eggs that have already been blown out. So there's just the shell of the egg. And what you do then is you can arrange these little eggs, glue them into a shadow box, and get shadow boxes or frames of different sizes and shapes, but with the same color. Let's say they're all white frames.
Sure.
And then you put these little eggs and you glue them to the inside.
And those would stick really easily.
Yeah, and then you put it on the wall, and now it's a cute little
cute
artwork, and it doesn't look too like Easter Bunny-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could get away with the rest of the year.
It just kind of works for spring. This is kind of a different way of, you say how you like to have the wreaths of different seasons. How about using an umbrella and have the umbrella be your door wreath? And what you do is you get an old umbrella that might still be in good shape, but it's going to give a kind of a country charm to your door. It could be even not only on the front door, but even inside. And you're going to tuck tulips inside the umbrella. So the umbrella is closed and hanging to the door. And so you know how an umbrella is, the handle is up and the tip is down.
Sure.
And so when you see the fabric now is up, with creating these little crevices, you can use that as almost like a mini vase to tuck these tulips and other greens inside.
See, and that's nothing says April showers bring May flowers like that.
Now look
front
at
door
you,
decor.
Mr. Hallmark.
See?
Look at you coming up with a slogan
that's
right there.
Me. That's it.
How about if you don't have a hot glue gun, you got to get one, and this is another tool that's got to be in your little bag of tricks for your bouquet. You can hot glue several little pink flowers that could be artificial to what? Those twigs that you also happen to have, those willow branches, and so it's going to look like cherry blossoms, and you can put those in a little vase on the center of your table. It's going to feel like spring and Easter. There's so many of these. But at the very least, get some jelly beans. I like that umbrella
one. I'm going to try that.
You got to get the jelly beans, and you've got to put them in a couple of little hurricane vases or jars. It's going to feel like spring. It's inexpensive. It's cute.
Great.
Welcome Easter. It's all great.
Hey, by the way, don't forget, you got to set your clock spring forward, right?
Yeah, you do. You
Someday.
do.
When is that?
One of these days.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we come back, we're going to spring into action because Forrest is on the run, and Eric's got some tips on how to make sure that your dog won't escape because they want to escape. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards. We're going to improve your home and improve your life.